we are learning this from the India Bloc sources that opposition has asked the government about the current crisis in Bangladesh. Opposition has asked about the possible diplomatic fallout and the impact on security in India after what has happened in Bangladesh. My colleague Pallavi Ghosh is with us live on the broadcast for more on this. Pallavi, these are obvious questions of concern that will be raised, especially on the security situation back home in the country, considering the borders are extremely porous that we share with Bangladesh. And now that there is an absolute state of turmoil, more and more influx of illegal immigrants will only happen.
Yes, and one good thing really is that in a critical situation like this, where it could have repercussions on India's security concerns, economic concerns as well, all the opposition parties for now seem to be on the same page. There's a sense of cooperation. And what sources are telling us is that the government really did want this all-party meeting before the possibility of the External Affairs Minister making any kind of statement on the floor of the House, because they don't want any questions or counter questions which could be a security compromise to be asked on the floor of the House, because, it's a public space, it would be beamed live. And at this point of time, given the sensitive scenario, no such uncomfortable or sensitive information the government would want to divulge. And that's a point which was also raised at this meeting, which concluded a short while back. Well, the information we are getting from the India Bloc sources is that they assured a complete cooperation to the government. They also said that no off-the-mark remarks will be made. Mamata Banerjee yesterday has already taken the lead when she said that I'm going to wait for the centre to make a statement. Whatever they have to say is they who are going to say it. So individual political parties, even in the opposition space, will forget their politics for a change. Rahul Gandhi, as we are already reporting, has raised a concern. In fact, he had met the External Affairs Minister yesterday to ask about whether Sheikh Hasina had landed in Delhi or not. That's another question which he raised today. And also about this entire talk about outside interference. What ramifications does it have? What kind of a security situation? I think at this point of time, the biggest concern is also being expressed by the Trinamool Congress and Bengal, because Bengal does have a porous, non-porous border with Bangladesh, more than 2,200 kilometers. And that has been something which is the vulnerability is very well known. And though the BSF has beefed up their presence over there, that's a question also they raise, that, how we need to be insulated, protected.
Yes.
So lots of assurance going in from the government. So essentially, a sense of bonhomie, which is very much required during this sensitive and critical times, was on display at that all-party meeting.
Right. Pallavi, thank you so much for that information. In fact, our colleague Aman Sharma is also with us on the broadcast. Aman, in fact, our colleague Payal was also earlier mentioning how there is an attempt to let Sheikh Hasina first settle down, and then a possible plan will be discussed on what is the next course of action, especially from the Indian side, vis-a-vis her exit from India or otherwise, and that is going to be discussed. We have earlier discussed how there has been a very great bonhomie that India has with Sheikh Hasina. What are you learning through your sources about what and where exactly she is?
See, what has been told to the opposition at the all-party meeting is that Sheikh Hasina arrived at a very short notice in India. India came to know about her flight details, and India ensured a safe passage, and she landed here. Right now, her future plan is not clear. In fact, the opposition has been told that there has been not much discussion with Sheikh Hasina yet on what she wants to do in the future. Right now, India is only ensuring that she settles down, she recovers, and they be comfortable to discuss her plan. And only then the government will do what it has to do. Okay. Right now, the government wants to give us some space and time, because, she has come at short notice. So no decision yet on where Sheikh Hasina will go next. Not much discussion on that. I think the other important point which is coming from the all-party meeting is that there are about 20,000 Indians in Bangladesh. About 8,000 of them, which were students, have already come back after the government had issued an advisory earlier. So about 12,000 Indians in Bangladesh, but the government is not in a way worried about their safety, because the situation the government believes is not very alarming. The government is in touch with the army in Bangladesh. It is in touch with the situation there. So in a wait and watch mode, but also alert and cognizant of what is happening there. The opposition were told it is not an alarming situation, that the 12,000 Indians there need to come back immediately. The government is in touch with these Indian nationals, but the situation is fluid. That is what the opposition has been told. That in the opposition, the situation is fluid. The government is in wait and watch. One important point, which Rahul Gandhi asked, that is there any foreign hand in this unrest what has happened in Bangladesh, To which Jaishankar has replied that there is one particular Pakistani diplomat who
Okay.
had changed his profile picture on social media, which in a way supported the Bangla unrest. But it is too early to say anything. There's only this one instance that Indian intelligence agencies so far have come across. The priority of the Indian government is to safeguard the minority in Bangladesh because there have been some attacks on some temples there. So that is the top priority. Opposition has been told. Right now, the entire opposition in one voice has said that they are with the government on this. They are on the same
Yes.
page. And so that is the positive coming out. Rahul
Yes.
Gandhi, in fact, Reha also asked, what is the medium and the long-term strategy of the government regarding Bangladesh? To which the government has said we will wait for things to become clear,
Okay.
how it develops. RG also asked that is there an anti-India feeling in Bangladesh? To which the government said we are cognizant of some such feelings on the ground.
Okay.
But whichever new government comes to Bangladesh will have to obviously work with India because Bangladesh depends on India for many resources. So the government is now
Yes.
confident that the next government in Bangladesh also will be favorable towards India when it comes to its long-term policy.